Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? It's amazing to be here today. And we are live.
We are live.
We are live.
Yes.
And today we'll be having an amazing conversation. And we will be having a conversation on what do women want in a man. I know we talked about what do men want from a woman, but today we'll be focusing on what do women want in a man. Wow, amazing. It's good to have you all here. Please let us know where you are watching from and how has your week been. I hope not too tiring, but thank God the weekend is here. We can rest, we can rejuvenate, and get ready for the new week.
Yes.
Yay! So today I want to welcome you all to our YouTube channel, Relationship Builders Forum. This is a forum where we talk about love, we talk about sex, we talk about relationship. We believe in intentional relationship, intentional marriage, and we rave about it as loud as we can.
Yes, we do. Maybe I should start by introducing myself for those of you joining or watching for the first time. My name is Gospel.
And my name is Amara. And together we co-steward on Relationship Builders Forum. And today we'll be having another amazing and interesting conversation.
I think I should be the one talking more about it because last time we had this opportunity to talk, you were asking me a series of questions about men. What do we want? Men, what do you want? And I tried to talk about some of the things I feel we want as men, even though we didn't explore it completely. Maybe we could have another opportunity to do that. But today, we will be looking at women, telling us what they want. And I will be asking you questions. But before we do, I think we've got another wonderful lady. Do you want to introduce her?
Yes, we have an amazing person. This is someone who it's not, I don't know how to explain it. Like it feels so different introducing this amazing person, right? So what I would do is I'll bring her forward, I'll mention her name, and then when she comes forward, she is gonna do the introduction because if I start, we're gonna run out of time. We're gonna run out of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we bring her on board, let's see who is on the
call. Yes, we've got Foundation for Family Affairs. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Always joining this conversation. It's amazing to have you here. Please let us know where you are watching from. And if this is your first time here on our channel, please, I would want to welcome you into the community. Kindly click the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you know when we put content out. Okay, it's amazing to have you all here. So without further ado,
yes,
I would want us to make welcome an amazing lady. She is Chidi Akuna. Hey. Hello.
Hey. It's great and lovely to be here.
Yes. I did mention that asking me to do an introduction of you would take a long time. So I've allowed you to do the introduction yourself because we might keep to time if we do that.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you for having me. And well done to you both for the great work you do at Relationship Builders Forum, just impacting the world with some beauty. I am Chidi Akuna, like you have said. I wear many hats, but I think the hat I have commanded today would be as a coach with the Foundation for Family Affairs. At Foundation for Family Affairs, our mission is to connect hearts and raise healthy families. And we are loving the transformation we see in the lives of people. So it is a pleasure to be here to just add to the great work you're doing. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I think I need to take the floor now. Just the two women here, just listen to me as I ask you questions. I need you to be
You're enjoying this, right?
Yes, I am. I'm in charge. I need you to be very practical. I need you to, if possible, use your personal experience. If I ask you questions that have to do with that, you can as well share. And I also need our audience to ask questions as well. If there is anything you want to ask, if there is any comment you want to make as we proceed, please be free to do that, okay? the question is, what do women want in a man? As a man, I could say it's a bit confusing sometimes what we think women want, because sometimes it seems like women are complex. That's a subjective comment. It seems women are very, very complex, and women don't always find a way to really understand you too, representing women. And my first question to you is, tell us a bit about what women want, or the features a woman is looking for in a man. Maybe I will start with Chidi Akunna.
Okay, that's a great question. There are many things a woman would want in a man. I mean, women would want men who love them. A woman wants love and affection. Okay, and when we say love and affection, those are doing words. It's not just saying I love you. They want to see it in your actions and how it's expressed. Okay, I want to look into your eyes and know that you love me. Okay, I want to know that you're attuned to my feelings. You see beyond what's obvious. You are able to recognize when I am not with it, when I feel low. Okay, there should be some level of attunement. If you say you love me, you truly care about what bothers me. You truly care to know my state and understand the state. Okay, then a woman would want a man who shows leadership. When we say leadership, I would want to first of all just talk about spiritual leadership. All right, I know it may seem fancy that you're the woman who calls people to pray in the house and what have you, but a woman wants to know that as the man, you are the priest in the home. Okay, personally, it is important to me that you have connection with God. If I have come under you as the head, you are the head of the family as the man. I mean, God is a God of order. So he intentionally put order in place, and the man is the head of the wife. So my husband is my head. I want to know, it's a place of security, really, to know that he is connected to God. Okay, it just gives you that peace, that assurance to know that, okay, if there's a subject, if there's something we're not agreeing on, he ultimately has the choice, has the decision to make, but he will be making that decision, still consulting God. Okay, wanting what is God's will for our lives. It is a lot for a woman to come under a man, and you just and I think for any single person listening, you are in that place where you should be making very, very informed decisions now about who you get married to. You're submitting to this person. So you want to submit to someone who has that authority as God. Okay, then there's a woman wants security. I want to know that I have a special place in your heart, emotional security. I want to know that financially, when we talk about financial security, there are a lot of women who are crushing it, women who are hitting big goals these days. But a woman wants to know that it's when we talk financial security, is beyond handing cash out. It's that when we make an agreement, you stick to that agreement, that financial agreement. You don't just go off and make a decision and then a decision that could lead the family or leave us stuck as a family financially. All right. So it's about how our finances are disbursed as well. It is very crucial. So a woman wants that financial security, that you're listening to her when she makes those suggestions. When we reach that agreement, you stick to the agreement. A woman wants communication skills in a man. It's very important. Last week you were talking about men going into their man cave. Yes, it's important sometimes when you need to recharge to go into your man cave, but you should be able to know when to come out and speak. It's I think I was going through this article and they were talking about the life expectancy between men and women. And so women have higher life expectancy. And that's just because women process through talking. Something happens to a woman, she's talking. I overheard my husband this morning. He was talking to a group of men. And he was saying to them, oh, my wife calls her sister every day, but I speak to my brother once in God knows how long, But that's a woman. We when there's a problem, she's talking. There's a problem. She's just returned home from work. She's talking to you about something. She probably doesn't need your solution at that point. She just wants someone to listen to her. She's expressing, she's venting, she's releasing. Okay, but sometimes men tend to go into a shell. So we understand you need your man cave sometimes, but we would also need a man who understands the importance of communication, to know that, yes, when I have stayed there, I should come out and still be able to express what I am feeling. Okay, so some things don't come as a shock in the family. Still talking about communication, a woman wants to know that a man knows what to say when. That's very important. Okay, that he knows, he's able to evaluate and know the right things to say at the right time. A woman wants to know that. I have said many things, but I will take a break now and then I can share more.
You've actually said so many things, and I'm wondering, of all the things you've said, which part do we start exploring? Because we need to explore those further. You've talked about, maybe I'll direct this question to Dr. Amarachi. You've talked about love and affection, that women need love and affection. From your practical experience, when women say they need love and affection, I know you said a lot about it. From your point of view, what do you guys really mean? Because a man may think, I'm loving my wife, I'm showing affection the way he understands it, and the woman wakes up one day and say, you don't love me, and he's wondering, how can you say I don't love you with all the things I'm doing to prove to you that I love you? So what do you have to say about that?
Can I?
That's you, yes.
Okay, for me. Okay. Now, one of the things I would say, because a lot of times, and you just give an example around women saying, you don't love me anymore. I think it's down to when women are verbalizing their emotions, because we have a lot of emotions in us. We are emotional. I'm not saying you guys are not emotional, but there's a whole lot of emotion in us. And a lot of times when we are verbalizing things, right, we feel like we want you guys to listen beyond the words. And that's something she touched on in terms of communication. Like, don't listen to the words, like listen to the feeling in the words. Like, what feelings am I exuding by speaking these words? And sometimes, because you men are, and it's good, you men are very, very rational, right? So you're listening to the words and you're interpreting the words that are being said, and you are not listening beyond the words and taking on the emotion and the feelings, and this is something we expect you guys to pick up, right? And Chidi can come in and comment on that. So when you say you love us, right, we just don't want you to say it. We want you to feel it. We want you to be engrossed with us, to just focus on us. Yes, that's that.
To make you the focus of our focus.
Yes, exactly. We just want you guys to. We want to have the center space in your life, right? We want to just be that person that you rave. We talk about the fact that men want women to rave about them. Trust me, women want the same. We want you to rave about us. We want you to notice things, right? We wear a new hairdo. We want you to notice that, we dress in a certain way. We're asking for compliments. Oh, for example, I would ask you, how is this? It's fine.
How do I look?
It's fine. It's okay. That is a very bland comment. Like, we want you to be very, very, very like.
Let me cut you there.
Yes.
In order for it, sometimes I'll be very honest with you. Sometimes in my head, I'm wondering, she has put on this and she knows it's fine. Why does she have to ask me over and over, is it fine? I said it's fine. I've already said it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and you still keep asking, are you sure? So for men, it looks like, what else can I say?
No, get what we're saying here.
Yeah.
Right? Because if a woman commits to a man and say, look, this man, I love you, you're my ride, anytime I'm with you, right? That woman wants you to be that person who would, not that we're seeking affirmation from you.
Even if you seek affirmation.
Yes, it's something that gives us a lot of, we feel that sense of belongingness. We feel that sense of being wanted. We feel that sense of being a significant part of somebody's life. So when we say to you, how do I look, right? We expect you to give us an essay,
okay,
rather
not
than a
phrase.
sentence, right, or a phrase. We expect it to elaborate rather than just saying it's okay, you know, like men just, oh, it's cool, it's fine, it's okay, it's nice, you look good, right? Good. How do I look? Explain it to me. So just going beyond that. And a lot of times to some women, we just want you to show your action. So just be helpful, supporting her at home. So when we talk about love is not just you telling us you love us, which is okay, but going beyond and supporting in areas where we find quite challenging, you know, like the day-to-day activity. A woman would love it if her man is constantly there, just, you know, noticing those things, giving her a pat on the back, you know, thinking ahead of her. So say, for example, before I go to heat the food in the microwave, you already know that's what I'm thinking and you're doing it. Oh my goodness. You're just going to capture her heart. So, but it's a process, right? But these are some of the things. And sometimes when a woman, I think I have to say this, that when a woman is speaking, like, men, please, if you're a man on this call, I really want to crave your indulgence and beg you. When the woman is listening to you, like, listen beyond the words.
Speaking, yeah.
Listen beyond what is being verbalized. Listen to the feeling, listen to the emotion. Because there is a lot, in fact, she's saying more through her feelings and emotions than she's saying through the words.
Wow. The essay is becoming complicated. Chidi, do you want to step in now? Because I saw you eager to share.
No, I just love the points she's raised. She's raised some valid points. You know, she talked about having someone who supports you as well. That's really crucial. And just let me say a bit about, you know, supporting you. It is sad. I was speaking to a woman 2 weeks ago, and she was speaking to me and she was tearing up. She had tears there. And what was she was just talking about the fact that she abandoned her career to take care of the children, you know. So at that point, that's a woman who is not fulfilled. She doesn't feel fulfilled, you know. And I think we're trying to put this out in the course of the week when we said the fact that one spouse has abandoned his dream or put his or her dream on hold for a while does not mean that that dream cannot be revisited. It doesn't mean that she's abandoned that dream. Okay, so if it was an agreement at some point that we will do this for a period, then by all means, even if it wasn't, a timeline wasn't put to it at the start, you can, if you're attuned to her feelings, like something she was trying to say, you know, look beyond what's being said. If you're attuned to her feelings, you should be able to tell she's not happy. Then you should be querying, why is she not happy? Why is there's a spark she's lost. She doesn't have to say it. She probably doesn't want to say it because she feels you'll be burdened by it. But it's just important that you help her talk about it. It may also be that you are not, as a family, you're not at that phase where she can make that decision to go back, because she's still, you know, you still need that, you need her in the home probably to be with the children. It might rock things if she has to go back to work to pursue her career at that time. But it would be so relieving to her if you could just have that conversation with her and let her know you're seen in this marriage. I acknowledge you. You matter in this marriage. When we're doing this, just reassure her. We're doing this. It's just for a while. And then I will step back and probably, you talk about how you intend to support her as well. So a woman really wants a man who is supportive. I like that she said that.
Wow.
I want to add to what she said, because what she said is really profound. A woman wants to feel that sense of being valued. So how are you? Do you take her seriously, or do you just want her to air her views for the sake of, I've just asked you to air your views? So when she airs her view, what do you actually do with it? And a lot of times we want to feel supported. We want to feel needed. You know, when you just come to us when we feel it's just what you want and not necessarily listening to what we want, and acknowledging, like she said, acknowledging genuinely that, you know, I hear your voice. You know, I hear what you're saying. We're going to do it. Because a lot of women are really, really being sidelined, and they're just at the back burner in their relationship. they are only called to full when it's something that has to do with the woman, duties, and that's it. Some men, I'm not generalizing, feel that women are not intelligent. What is she going to say? She's only a woman. Some cultural view about women. How women, these are women always like. But it's that sense, because nobody want to have that sense of feeling inferior. Fundamentally, to that one person that you have dedicated your life to journey with. Nobody would want to have that.
Okay, thank you, both of you, for the answers you provided. I'm going to ask you another question. We will look at what people have said on the comments before you answer that question. And that question is, Chidi, when you are talking, you pointed out one thing, that women want a man who will leadership. And leadership and submission are intertwined, if I would say. Now, my question is, why is it that a lot of women find it difficult to submit if they actually want a man who would lead? Okay, hold it there while we point out some of the comments, and then you can provide your answer. Okay, thank you.
Oh, well, I think just a few comments around knowing what to say at the right time. So just echoing what we said previously around speaking and knowing when to speak, spiritual leadership. I think that also echoes the question that you've just asked, and then love and affection. And the others were, basically like, maybe we're giving you guys a lot. I assume I'm sure that is a man speaking there. So there's a lot to unpack. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fine. So over to you, Chidi. Do you want to answer that?
Okay, so I thank you for that question. When we talk about the subject of submission, I mean, shouldn't be as difficult as we make it out to be, right? I think if people truly understand what it means, yes, women are to submit, where it says, man, love your wife, okay? And submission should not be difficult if the man truly loves his wife. The way she's just broken it down today, where you understand it's an action word. It's not just you standing at the altar on that day and saying to her, I love you. Okay, in your action, in your deeds, you truly communicate, I love you. It shouldn't be a problem. Okay, but where it becomes a problem is sometimes it is abused. Okay, submission is not you being subservient. No, right? I think there's a part of the scripture where it says submit one to another. So it's just you recognizing that there are parts where she was talking about some women feel, some men maybe not acknowledging that their wives are intelligent. You think you have to make the entire call. No, there is a part, there's a reason God has put you both together. I think we're having this conversation one time and we're saying women are different. They bring a different perspective to any issue. All right. So submitting to one another is in her area of strength. There's definitely something she's better than you at. Definitely. Okay. In that area, you submit to her. Why? She's got the strength in that area. All right. That's just you submitting one to another. But bringing it back to the woman now. All right. We as women should also understand what submission truly is. When I was speaking earlier, I said singles have the chance to choose right. Okay, when you have chosen that man, you should submit to him. All right. Hopefully, he will be showing leadership. He will be showing direction for the family. It's easier to submit to a man like that, a man who is leading right, a purpose-driven man. All right. You don't just get married and you don't have any purpose. And when she starts coming forth with her purpose, it becomes a problem. And you think, no, she's taking it overboard. Okay, you should be showing leadership. You should be connected to God and selling the vision of the family to her. Okay, this is what God is saying to me about us at this point. Don't forget, she's also connected, so you will be confirming things God has told her as well. All right, but women must also understand that submission is a command ultimately. So if you are married to that man, you should be submitting. Honestly, I don't like it when it's like this topic raises a lot of dust. It shouldn't. I don't struggle to submit to my husband. Yep. Okay. And when I say that, I mean, he's not giving me any reason to think twice about it. I submit to him. And for areas where I don't think he's making the right call, I pray about it. And really, things turn around. In no time, he's saying to me, oh, okay, you know that thing we were talking about? I think we will do it your way. You see? So it shouldn't really be a hard call. I don't know what you think about it.
Want to add to that?
Yeah, I want to add to it because submission, a lot is dependent on the atmosphere in the relationship. And this is something that couples will need to think about. Like, she said something that she doesn't struggle to submit to her husband. And the reason is because the atmosphere is right. You know, there are things I wouldn't struggle with, for example, in submitting to you. I mean, I haven't even thought about, have I struggled with submission in my mind? And I'm being honest, I haven't even given it a thought, because the atmosphere in the relationship has been tended and cultivated to the point where it is easy for me to give submission or to submit to you, and not out of you demanding submission, but the way that you're loving me has propelled me to submit. You know, even I don't think I even think about it, because it's just right. And what she's saying about singles, it is really important that you have this in mind. Can I submit to this person who potentially will be my husband tomorrow? And it is really important for the men to also ask themselves, am I a person that any woman would want to submit, considering my personality, considering my attributes, considering my ability to love this woman? And I think if both parties do their parts, this would not even be a topic up for conversation, because I personally don't struggle with it. But I know that there are women that struggle with submission because of the kind of person they are married to. And it is difficult to submit to somebody who is unlovable. It is difficult. I mean, let's be real here. It is really difficult. And one thing I think that this calls for a lot of reflection, even for men. You know, why is it that my wife is not submitting to me, if that is what you want? Or why is it that my wife is not showing me respect? Because a lot of times you hear about love and respect, submission, all of that, all intertwined. But it's about looking at yourself and having a close look at the mirror, you know, and ask yourself some difficult questions around, do I have that ability? Do I have the personality? Do I have the love? Am I giving enough to get submission? It's not a give and take relationship. I don't want you to come back with me on that. But from a human point of view, people want to receive something. People would always respond to love. They would. And that is why the instruction to the man was, love your wife.
Okay.
So,
can I come in now? I think you guys have put the blame on us, which is fine. We have to be the right people that would receive submission. But if I want to defend the men, what I would say is that sometimes I could be a very loving wife, a husband, but my wife, maybe because of her background, because of her views around the issue of respect, she's not wired to give that. And I would also say that is a mutual thing. You know, when you have a kind of relationship, your friends, nobody's dragging who is the head, who is the bottom, if there's anything like that. You know, you're just keen on playing your role as individual and complementing each other where there is need for that. And with what you guys are saying, I hear a lot about teamwork. And if you are working as a team, it means that I need to also submit to you in areas that you are more competent than I am. For instance, finance. If you're more credible with accounts,
yeah,
you can take care of all those issues around costing, expenditure, whatever. Then we can give you that responsibility. You call the shot in that area, which in itself is submission. But let me not dwell more on that because we
No,
have.
no, you can, but that's why I said the atmosphere has to be right. So
I'm just supporting what you're
okay.
saying, and I'm also saying that sometimes it could be as a result of the woman's upbringing or
Yep.
other factors which could impact on her ability to submit. Which leads me to the next question that I
Okay.
wanted to ask, which is if a woman is married to a man who finds it difficult to love, he wants to love, he desires to love, but the problem is that he doesn't know how to love this woman according to her spec.
No, let's address the other question.
Which one is that?
I think you raised a point that I would want to react to previously. I don't know if Chidi has a comment on that.
Which one is that?
Around upbringing and
Okay.
and the fact that some women have been raised in a particular environment, that certain things have been modeled to them, and hence they come into marriage with that sort of mindset, and
it makes it difficult for them to.
Yeah,
okay,
they don't understand why they have to submit, and this is where we really need to do a rain check. We really need to do a rain check on ourselves. If you're going into a relationship, one would need to go in with a growth mindset, with the fact that, look, I don't have to be fixated by where I'm coming from or the experiences that I've been through, because if everybody were to bring their previous experiences into their relationship, then nobody would be in a marriage. Yeah, nobody will be in a relationship. So we should be open to learning and unlearning and relearning. We should be open to growing, and if that's possibly growing out of some habits or some silly things that we have in our mind, some kind of mind programming that we've been embedded in as a result of the cultural environment that we have been raised in. So we need to grow out of it and actually think about, I'm in a relationship with this person. What would help this relationship flourish? What would help this relationship grow? And just focus on it. So if I love you so much, why would I want to see you go through a lot of pain? Right? And if you love me so much, why would you want to see me go through a lot of pain? And if both of us are in a relationship seeking to make the other person happy and giving our best to each other, I don't think the issue of love and submission would even be a problem at all.
Okay.
But there are some comments here.
I'll read the comments. Let's read the comment. Yeah.
Yes, please.
No, I just like the point you've raised, but I wanted to also portray the fact that some people don't know how to. Okay, I think we're dealing with this couple, and the lady was raised by a single parent. Excuse me, and there were four of them, four sisters. So for her, all that had been modeled to her by her mother was, you can't do it. You've got to be independent. You've got to run things for yourself. So getting married to, a very lovely man, she didn't realize that at this point, there should be a change in mindset, like you were saying. Okay, so it was causing a lot of friction in the marriage. So it may just be possible that that's something that was also modeled to this person. So it's an ideology that she has seen work. It worked for her mom. That was how her mom was able to survive. So coming into marriage, and she's seeing a man who she thinks is not as forthgoing as herself, she just thought it's my responsibility to just take the wheels of the marriage and just drive it on. So I wanted to mention that it might also be that it was something that was modeled, but these things can be worked on, like you said.
Yeah, summarizing what you guys have said and adding to what you're saying, I think even if someone comes in with an independent mindset and the man is not as forthcoming as she expects him to be, there should be a middle ground, a compromise where they communicate, learn different approaches to life and issues, and work together as a team. Teamwork for me is vital, because you could see that, let me use myself as an instance. My wife is more driven than I am, because her temperament, she wants on the go. Let's do it now. For me is, yes, we will do it, but let's think about it first before we start. So we've come to a point where, yes, she's driven, she wants us to do it now, but she will still listen to me. And at the end of the day, the person who is not as proactive as the other person pushes himself to come midway so that you work as a team and achieve the same results. Because we believe that marriage is about you being your best, doing your best for the other person. So if that's your intention, you'll be open to learn, relearn, and unlearn and relearn, I would say.
Yeah. Just to bring up some comments on the chat, because some people have made some comments around here. Just the last points that you were saying, that's where learning, unlearning, and reframing our mindset comes in. Reframing our mindset comes in. So thank you, Telma, for that comment. And Dozy King is saying here, the truth is the word submission can be overrated and misinterpreted. And this kind of alludes to what Chidi was saying earlier. It appears as being subservient to many women and to many men. It appears to be an authoritative empowerment. So it's like trying to lord it over the other person. And that's a very, very good point that is made there. Another thing says, I think it needs to be properly understood amongst couples in order to apply it properly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys, for those comments.
Okay, I think another question I want to ask you guys. We've done a bit about submission. Maybe you're wondering, you want to know more, you can jump into our YouTube channel and see some of the videos we've done on love and submission or respect. That would be helpful to you. The question is, you've come into this marriage. Before marriage, this guy, loving, charming, oh, so cool. And now you're in the marriage. He's struggling to love you the way you know a man is supposed to love the wife. More like the features you expected are not there. How do you help him to come to the level of the kind of man you want? Chidi, Amara, any of you can go?
Chidi can go first.
Okay, I think it's important to recognize that you cannot change any man. You can't change anybody. Okay, you can only influence. You can't change. And for you to be able to influence someone, you've got to win their heart. Okay, so trying to hit on the matter, I'm trying to avoid the word nagging, okay, because it's very important to you, but trying to go over the matter again and again won't cut it. So you may want to win his heart. How do you win his heart? There are ways you can go about it, right? You could just, nicely talk about it. Suggest the idea, bring it up in a talk. Some people may say, oh, I have really done my best, like I've pushed it too far. Okay, if the case is that he is not buying the idea from you for some reasons, which we may need to explore, then how about people he trusts? There might be people he trusts. You could, through those people also, get the topic going. Okay, create an ambience, create an environment where you can talk about it. Maybe in a relaxed, informal way, not like you're reporting him, okay, but you're bringing up the idea. Get some small focus group discussions going, and that might also suggest the idea to him. I'll let her speak.
So the question again, sorry.
The question is, you've come into marriage, you thought this guy he has all the virtues or attributes you are looking for in a man, and now you're in it, you find out that it's not there. He can't love you the way you want to be loved. What will you do? How do you make him become the kind of man you want?
Well, I think, like she said, you can't change anybody. You can influence. But the first thing I would say, I would help him. I would teach him.
If he's teachable?
Well, we'll talk about it, right? We're in this together for the long haul, right? So I might find a way, because men they've got ego, right? So I might find a way to say, or maybe just tell him through his friend or something. Really? Maybe that might be, well, because it depends on the man you're married to. Let's have the
man now.
No. If you're the man, it's not easy to put it in context, because you are a different kind of man from maybe other men. I mean, it depends on the man. Some men are a bit I don't want to use the word uptight, but it's just their personality. They're not that open to feedback, right? So you might want to think about how you present feedback to him. So who are his most trusted allies, before you came into his life. And maybe you might want to sort of have a conversation with them. I mean, not that you're reporting him, like she said, but you have to be very creative with how you do it, depending on who your husband is, right? So speaking to the allies.
You could play something on YouTube to his hearing. Okay. When he's around, he's about doing something, and you get on Relationship Builders Forum YouTube channel and play How to Win Your Man, How to Win Your Woman, something like that. Because the truth is, some men don't know how to. Okay, we're talking about people's background, like he was saying earlier. So some people who probably were in a relationship where they never saw that, they don't know how to. So he may also not, depending on the kind of person it is, he may not want to ask, how do I do it? Or probably he feels that, oh, you're complaining too much, I've done my best. So to give him more ideas, there's nothing wrong with playing things around the house. So he also learns. If he is open, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier. I mean, we could talk about it. I could tell you, and this is where every couple should aspire to get to, where there's emotional safety. There's a level of we're vulnerable. I can tell you how I feel per time, because it is possible that you think you're loving me, you're doing the right things, but probably for that phase, the phase of life I'm in, I don't feel supported. I don't feel loved. Okay, maybe because at that point I'm dealing with so much, it's a bit overwhelming. I just need that reassurance from you. So there's nothing wrong with you talking to him and letting him know, I'm not really feeling loved. And if he's someone who really loves you or wants to at least do better, he would be asking questions. So yes, there's the part of talking, but then I think we also must be patient with the man. If he's showing some effort, like he's making effort, then be patient with him, meet him where he is, and work through it step by step, and ensure that you pull him up. Don't give up on him, by all means. Yes.
But one of the things I also want to say, because this is something that is, in our culture is something we are known for, entertaining people, entertaining guests, having people at home. But I think we don't even utilize that. That is such a powerful thing that we're doing. So when you get couples together at home, you can start a conversation rather than talking about all the gossips on social media, right? So you can decide to raise a conversation around something, but you do it in a way that is light touch. Don't make it too heavy or too personal, right? So you could raise a conversation. Oh, what do you think about this? Or if, what do you reckon if someone is going through this or whatever it is, there'll always be a mood in the house. And you get people talking about it in a way that will bring different, and maybe you can even get to hear it from his other friends that have visited. So a man like himself, and maybe not just you. There was something else you said that I wanted to touch on. I wanted to also mention, that men should please learn to trust their women. I know it's difficult. Some, as we talk about some men being difficult, I know that there are some women that are, where some women could be a bit much, right? But you need to be able to speak up. If you have it in your mind and you've not verbalized it, there's no way the woman would know what you're thinking, right? So and that's something Chidi just said now, you would need to communicate your emotions, but of course you have to be sure that is a safe space to do that. But we can only get to do that together. I don't like the look on your face. So
no. I'm just picking up everything you guys are saying, and I'm reflecting, which is okay. We are taking it in. And for the men on the platform, I hope you're taking it in. These women, they want a lot, and would try our best to give them a lot, okay?
It's not a lot.
No, a lot in quote. Whatever you guys want, the key point is, as long as we love you, we'll go the extra mile, okay? And we'll keep learning. One of the things that will kill a man, is fixed mindsets. Be open to learn. As I'm listening, I'm learning, because I want to be the best. And one thing you need to know is that you cannot learn someone and say, I've known everything there is to be learned about this person, because life is progressive. As that person is growing, changes are happening. The person is also, becoming, it's not different, but looking at life from a different lens. So you need to also grow to look at things from her perspective. Okay.
And I wanted to just add something. I just wanted to add that whatever is appreciated is repeated. So as he takes the baby steps, those little steps, you can see that he's trying to, maybe he's not meeting you there yet, but you can see he's making an attempt. As he takes those baby steps, you need to, let him know, I really appreciate what you're doing. Oh, wow, this is so good. Oh, you got me. Oh, I feel so loved. And he will want to do more. I thought I would mention that.
Adding to that, I also want to say that one of the things men don't like, I know it's not about men, but as you guys are telling us what you want us to do, if you tell us that in terms maybe you're nagging to say it, it may not really be productive, because once we see that, the natural thing around a man is to defend himself.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, that defense may be expressed in form of aggression or silence or whatever. In his mind, he's saying whatever, which means he's not ready to do anything. But once you come with the attitude of love and you're saying what he's not doing, we can feel love in your words and respect in your words. Then it helps the man to open up, to realize his weakness and see how he can progress from that.
I totally agree with what you've said. I totally agree that we as women, I know we're talking about what women want, but maybe this might be a good point to address this and just put it out there, that it's really important that we study our men. When I was talking, I said, when you said, use me as an example, I said, I can't use you as an example because every man is different, right? So it is very important that every woman will take out time and understand your husband, understand, what is it about him that makes him tick? What is it about him that is unacceptable, right? I know that for my husband, for example, words cut deep, right? Words really cut deep for him. Now, for some other men, they might be able to take that in. And when I say cut deep, I'm not talking about just a splash of emotion or anger. I'm talking about the fact that it cuts deep because it takes time to reflect on it, and maybe because of how he was raised. So it's difficult for him to process difficult or words that are not empowering, right? So you need to be able to understand your husband and know what is it that make him tick. Because a lot of the time we are so focused on ourselves as women. It's okay to focus on yourself, but at the same time, we need to also look at the other person, and look at yourself in the mirror and see if what you are doing is acceptable to the other person. So if the roles were to turn and you were to be exhibiting the same attitude to your male self, would you be comfortable with that? And that's something really important. But I just want to highlight some comments here on the chat. Udo, nice to see you here. Thanks for joining. He says, I think patience, creativity, and working with him is the best way to get your man to respond to your complaint.
Okay.
So we're getting some advice here, but that's a very, very good one. And the wife is saying, I see you. I think they're not together in the same location. So that's good. Now, Udo is saying, some men don't process getting around them like friends, family, to get to them too well. At least I don't. What is that? Like
what he's trying to say is that you want to get to me, you talk to my friends and my family to get to me.
Yep.
I don't think it will also work for me.
Yep.
Because if we build a good relationship, you should be able to access me.
Yeah. So it's about talking to me, and he's saying, if talk to me over time, and I will come around. Yes, I do agree with that. Dozy King is saying, appreciating little efforts is way to go for many men. It gives them the courage to go. I mean, you can say that again, like,
men, please, this is our time. Say the things we need from women now. Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. Like, not just for the men, you see those little things, those little nothings. I always say that, when you say little nothings to you, sometimes the little nothings that actually get to you, not all those fancy stuff and things you actually spend time on. And we don't understand how much power we wield as women. You know how much emotions we've got, and how much that if we channel that emotion, Someone said something the other day, said the emotion inside of you would be able to charge up charge up someone's phone and someone's laptop. Yes, so
okay, let's not switch it around.
Yes,
it's
go
still
on,
about women.
Yeah.
So I've got 2 questions. We have a few minutes to stay.
Yep.
Few questions for both of you. One, what will you say to a woman who is not married and she's looking for a man? What are the things she needs to, the most important things she needs to look out for so she doesn't end up regretting getting married to the wrong person? Chidi, can you give us
Okay.
point?
Okay. It is important for her to discover herself. Okay. It is sad when you see cases of people who got married to somebody years down the line. They feel like, what was I thinking? We were not in sync. Okay. And that may just be because you didn't take out time to discover yourself. When you discover yourself, you know your purpose. Then you know who to journey with. It's easier to identify who you need on that journey. So not every suitor will be it. When someone comes around and you know he's not going to take me there, because the problem we see sometimes is that people marry for now. Discovering yourself, identifying your purpose gives you a map, a roadmap as to the future, so you know where you're going. So you're not just concerned about now. If you may see a man who doesn't look like it, but you will be able to say, I think we can create something big in the future and go for that. Okay. And then I think it is important to know as you go through, yes, some people come up with lists, but as you have your list, you should know what's negotiable and non-negotiable. Okay. Negotiables would be, I want a 6 feet tall man, and a 5'7" man comes. I should know that if this man has got everything else, he's got the core things, non-negotiables. He's got the values, okay, our faith, his beliefs about his worldview to life. Those things are intact. Then I know that, oh, okay, I could do away with 0.3 inches, and that may not matter so much. So it is important to know, as you create your list, what are those things that you can't budge on. And I think those are the things that are tied to your values. You should have your values. Examples would be value of integrity. Who is this person? Like, you should be wanting to study whoever comes to know beyond what you're seeing. Who is this person? What are his interests? You should want to know that. Do I see myself in his future, in his life? Okay, what kind of life are we going to create together? Those are questions I think singles should be asking themselves.
Thank you very much for that. Can you give your views?
I think she's actually touched on it, because the thing is, you really need to be sure that this person has got a purpose. Because a lot of times when people are frustrated in a relationship is because they've gotten married to their now person without having a look at their future, right? And you've married for now, and then you've suddenly pivoted from your now to the future, and that person isn't growing with you, then that becomes a problem. So I think both couples would need to be united in purpose. But if you don't know what your purpose is first, how would you identify what your purpose is in somebody else's journey? And then you get into that journey and then you get frustrated.
All right. So leaning on that, I want to ask you, just in brief, I'll say, can you just give an advice to a man who wants to be his best? Tomorrow is Father's Day in the UK. The man who wants to be his best for his wife, what advice will you give him?
Well, this is a thesis question, but I'll try to make it work. First of all, who is your wife? Do you know who your wife is? Every woman is different, right? So what will make me, smile and think and, be all over my husband is totally different from what possibly Chidi what would make Chidi think. And I think it's about trying to understand who your wife is and enabling that culture of collaboration. We talk about this in the workplace, but people don't talk about it in our home fronts. Collaborative relationship, collaborative lifestyle, working together as a team, and making her feel that sense of being a part, not just a tiny or a fraction part of your life, but in fact, she is your world. right? You know, I mean, outside God, of course, she's your world, and it's like your world revolves around her. Because, and this is something I would say, a lot of men, when the children start coming, we always say this to women, the women are paying attention. But do you know that there are a lot of men that would go anywhere with their children in their car? They are always driving, going there. Come, join me. Let's go here. Let's go there. But their wives are not a part of it. And sometimes it's just a matter of time. These are little actions, or sometimes might be speaking volumes. But I would say have a tete-a-tete with your wife. And another thing, it shouldn't be a one-off event, right? There's something we call like a family review meeting, right? Because sometimes this is where you pick up some of these things. Is a family review meeting where you look at what you've been through, how you've been through it, what are the things, what are the areas we have to improve on. And if you just make it a habit of maybe every week or monthly, depending on your schedule and where you are, that is a one way to nip things in the bud. Like issues come up, you're like on it.
In summary, she's saying, men, make sure that you study your wife and be the best by making her the center of gravity in which your life revolves. Okay, Chidi, your last word.
I think she said many great things there about studying your spouse and your wife and what have you. But I'd like to use this opportunity to thank all the wonderful men who go above and beyond to love on us, to support us, to make sure that we just, put a smile on our faces, leave us glowing, make us feel like we're so important. We don't take it for granted. I mean, for that question, for any man who is asking that question, it just shows how much you love us. Thank you for wanting to do even more for us. And at a time like this, with Father's Day, we use the opportunity to appreciate you again and let you know that we see all you do. Even those times it's inconvenient, those times it's a bit challenging, but you're still there. You're still there wanting to make us smile. At those times you try to man up. Yes, even when you don't have answers to our questions, and you try to come out to be there for us, and you go back and you're asking God questions. So we would like to say thank you to you. Thanks for being there. Thanks for showing up. And hopefully we will make you proud. Yeah.
Okay, so that's your last one. So thank you very much for this time. I think we can go on and on and on, but I just want to say thank you everyone for chiming in, for answering the questions, for asking questions, for your feedback. I know it's a wonderful weekend and you're spending it with us. Thank you. So thank you, Chidi, for your time. We don't take it for granted.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
I have loved doing this.
Yeah.
I want to wrap up.
Yeah, I want to wrap up. And if you're going to be watching this back, because I know that some people are already at work, please, put your comments there and let us know if you've got any questions. We're more than happy to take that. And just to add, if this is your first time on our channel, do not forget, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you know when we put content out. It's always amazing to have every one of you join us. I don't know if you want
I also want to add, because tomorrow is Father's Day, with the thing Chidi has said, can you share this with your friends and your network? This will be really appreciated.
Yes, it will indeed. It will. So until the next time we get to see ourselves, it is goodbye from us. And thank you all to all our viewers for joining. We do appreciate this. Take care. Bye-bye.